Welcome to the Artie Lange Show. I'm sitting here with a guy who is as hardcore as a stand-up comic gets, man. This guy is a brilliant comic. Everywhere you go, they tell you he just destroyed somewhere. They tell you, Mike Marino was just here and destroyed. This is a comics comic and a good man. Been on the road for a long time, doing some more acting work now. He has his own podcast called Deconstructing America, and he's got a movie out called Criticized. And he plays Detective Steve Sabia. Sabia. The great Mike Marino. What's up, man?
Hey, man. How you doing? It's nice to be here.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Now, how long you been doing stand-up for?
You know, it's 21 years now.
21 years.
21 years in the trenches everywhere.
Now, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Jersey City, right outside the tunnel.
Right there, okay.
So I was born in Jersey City. I grew up out in Scotch Plains. I had a house in Belmont down the Jersey Shore.
Did you go to Scotch Plains High?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm from Union High.
Well, I know you went to Union.
Yeah, I went to Union. How old are you?
Do I have to say that on the air?
You don't have to. No, absolutely not. You don't have to. But you look younger than me.
I'm right around there.
Yeah, right. You're right around it. Now, but you've been doing the clubs for a long time. I mean, literally, since I can remember doing clubs. It's odd. It's very odd that we have a lot of mutual friends, but we haven't crossed paths more because you spent time in L.A. around the same time I was out there, but we didn't cross a lot of paths here and there.
I think that's one of the reasons why I was explaining to super lawyer Terry Camp in your green room. Because a lot of people say, why don't you guys all work together all the time? I says, because when you grow and you become headliners, you never get to see.
What are you going to do? Yeah, you got it right. Exactly. You have guys you tour with who, maybe middle or open, and then if you're headlining, yeah, what are you going to do? Give away money? Yeah.
Exactly.
But you really did it in a hardcore way. I'd like to think my stand-ups are right, but I got helped out by being on these TV shows, Mad TV, and then working with Norm in movies and sitcoms, and then, of course, Howard. But you're really a guy. You went out there, and you developed a following from really being funny in clubs and hardcore touring.
Well, a lot of people don't know. I started out as an actor here in New York City.
Right.
I was working in television commercials. I was on soap for a while. I never even thought I'd do stand-up.
You did soap operas?
I was on As the World Turns for a year and a half.
Now, what was that like?
I didn't really like it.
You didn't like it, no?
No. No, I was on As the World Turns with Meg Ryan and Marissa Tomei.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah, but I played the guy they didn't like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have been that guy, too. Sometimes I would have got a lot of auditions. I didn't even get the audition for the guy that I didn't like. Yeah, I never did any soap operas.
I never got to kiss anybody. There was no sex scenes for me. I was the...
So you're like, the hell with this?
Yeah.
So you left, and you started doing... What makes you start doing stand-up?
California. Yeah. I got to California. Everybody would say, you people from New Jersey, you're so funny. And I'd take offense to that.
Right.
How am I funny?
No, I know, exactly. Same exact way from the movie. Like, because they start laughing. I did a stand-up gig in London once, and I got a huge laughs from going, how you guys doing? And I'm like, what are you, Tony Soprano? Literally. Like, I just talked. And in L.A., it's the same thing, but it's a little bit of an arrogance, too, though, right? Like, it makes you want to smack them.
Yeah, they said to me one time, you Jersey people curse so much. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I just started cursing. And I realized, yeah, we do.
I guess,
we do curse.
Yeah, when someone aggravates you with a dumb question like that.
Exactly.
Now, you also good friends with, we talking about my buddy Jimmy Palumbo, who you're really good friends with, who was in Beer League, and Doug DeLuca, right? Do you know Doug?
Yeah, I know Doug DeLuca because he produces the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
Right.
I had been working with Doug. I think I did a couple episodes of The Man Show way back when.
Yeah.
If you remember.
Fun show. Yeah,
show.
Sure. Yeah, I did a couple episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, did you work with Jimmy? What do you do the crowd work there?
How did I know Jimmy? Oh, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
I did a couple of sketches on the Kimmel Show. I never did stand-up on the
sketches,
show.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. You probably may have experienced this yourself. I went on the Tonight Show as a sketch comic.
Right.
Did a lot. I must have done 200 sketches on the Tonight Show.
With Leno.
And then he never considered me a stand-up comic.
Really?
Then I did stand-up on another show, and they weren't giving me sketch work on the show anymore.
Isn't it weird?
What did I do?
It is really weird. Like, people hear that about show business, they don't think it's true, but it is. They really get that petty with stuff. You're a guy trying to make a living, It's really kind of awful. I hate hearing stuff like that. You should
see the people who work there, too. They were looking at me like, you were on Comics Unleashed the other day. I'm like, well, what'd you think? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, you know my friends anymore.
Yeah, well, especially a guy like Leno, who that's how he earned a living for so long. was being a stand-up comic.
Right.
And just try, when you're a comic, you're trying to get it on TV as much as you can, because that leads to getting, plugged for stuff you're doing, and it makes you a living. Leno knows that better than anybody, and it sucks that he would try to not let you come on after doing something like that.
But were you ever considered? He's a risk. We got to be careful what he might do on the show.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I got that.
I'm the king of that.
He's
Yeah.
considered a risk. You never know what's going to do in a show. So then all of a sudden we're working on
Like be
comics.
entertaining, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
People might like what he's going to do.
Yeah, like be different, possibly. Which is the whole point of comedy.
I told the Tonight Show I have this great joke that I want to do. I know it's going to go viral. Let me do this joke. And they said no. I got called to go do Comics Unleashed, and there was a guy down there, and he said, nah, Mike Marino's not right for this show. And I
Right.
couldn't get on the show. Now the doorman from the Laugh Factory becomes the new talent coordinator. He's my buddy. I go right on the show. I do the joke about whacking Osama bin Laden. It goes viral around the world. 3 million hits. #1 joke on the show.
What was the joke?
I said if we had an Italian president from New Jersey, we wouldn't send the army to see bin Laden,
Right.
2 hitmen. Be back in 24 hours.
It's actually a good point.
So everybody starts getting happy. And what happens to the casting director? He's now the executive producer on the show.
There you go.
So it all worked, but I don't know why they have to act like that before you get on the show.
Yeah. Really, it's disgusting. It makes you happy in one sense because you got it eventually, but you're also depressed in another sense because why did it have to go like that? We could all be we could all be friendlier.
And then you got to do the show again, and they say, do that joke again.
Right.
Well, I already did it.
Yeah.
I want to do something else. No, do it again.
Then they want you to be known as the guy who does that joke, and that hurts your career too.
It could.
Now, did you write like a one-man show or something, or did you do stand-up in one particular place for a long time, maybe the Comedy Magic Club or something?
My home club in Los Angeles now is the Laugh Factory.
The Laugh Factory.
I was at the Comedy Store for a long time. Then I shifted over. You got to be one of the two. You can't be both of
Right.
them. So the Laugh Factory is pretty much the best club now.
Now, did you ever do it steadily in New York City? Because it's I tell you, it is a different scene in the sense it's better. See, but you also can act too. That's a different thing. If you're just doing stand-up, doing it in New York is great because you could do 5 clubs in a night, and they're not as competitive. They're not as crazy like you do the Comedy Store. You can't do the Laugh Factory, the Improv, blah 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 blah. They don't really have that here. And you could do 5 or 6 clubs in a night because you can take a cab, the subway, it's closer. But if you also know how to act, you're better off being there,
It's better to work in television, of course. Stand-up touring the country, it's a natural high. I enjoy it. I don't know about the New York scene anymore. I haven't been here in a really long time. I got lucky because when I went viral a few years ago, I started doing these tours of over 1,000 seats.
Right.
And I got to do the Montreal Comedy Festival 5 years in a row. The last show we did was 7,500 people.
Wow. Wow, that's a lot, man.
7,500 people. You'd say boo when they start cheering.
I know.
You
Now, what do you feel like that as a comic doing something? I've been lucky enough when I was on the Stern Show to do bigger clubs, and I did 10,000 people one night. And I don't know, it's great for the money, and it's great, for a lot of different reasons, obviously. But I still love a more intimate club for doing stand-up,
Well, I never did 10,000 seats. That's got to be unbelievable.
Well, I mean, 7,500 to that's not that big of a difference once you're there. And I didn't do it often. Maybe I had 1 or 2 shots where I did that many seats, but it wasn't like a tour of that.
Right.
Certainly not. 7,500 seats would have been an extraordinary night for me. But I just think I like 500 seats way better.
It's a little easier. You could see the people a little better.
I just think it's more intimate. Like it works better for comedy.
Yep.
And have you done specials?
Even 200, 300, and you could see everybody. It's a little bit more intimate. But then you're going to get a heckler, and you're going to have to deal with it.
Right.
7,500 seats to 10,000. They could be heckling. You're never going to notice.
You can eviscerate the heckler, though. That's the thing. You can really destroy the heckler, But that's my problem, too. It's 7,500 seats. If there's a heckler, those people aren't even listening to you. Right. That aggravates me, because they're up in the upper deck. And,